Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Wishwell Farms for the start of another busy week of harvesting vegetables. My name is Jason. Thank you so much for joining me. First thing on the agenda today is to get that trailer packed up and be ready to be on the road to our satellite location by 9 a.m. So today we're going to have a pretty big tomato harvest. I went out and checked the crop last night, and it was absolutely loaded. So top priority today is to get the field tomatoes harvested and up here in the barn so we can start getting them packed. And we'll also be harvesting all of our regular crops today, like sweet corn, cantaloupes, zucchini, and cucumbers. All right, it's time to get this day started. 6 a.m. As you can see, a lot of the corn is laying down pretty good from that windstorm. I mean, when you look at it right here, it looks like it's standing, but it's bent over quite a bit, and the ears are only about a foot off the ground. It's making it very difficult to harvest. You can see right here, I mean, these ears are basically down here on the ground. It's easy to miss them, but they are beautiful. It's just difficult picking this morning. We got our corn done. I think we got about 275 dozen. That's my guess. Up sweet corn, heading down to do zucchini and cucumbers next. And the girls are already down there picking field tomatoes. After zucchini and cucumbers, everybody will go to field tomatoes because it's loaded today. Back on zucchini again every other day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Zucchini and cucumbers keep coming. Cucumber plants are starting to look a little rough. We've been picking them pretty heavy for several weeks. They're still producing some decent cucumbers, but they're definitely getting near the end of their peak production. Yeah, and you can see Zeke has some monster ones out there. Because last Wednesday we let row 3 go because we were getting so many out of the first 2 rows. But now we're hurting for them, so we decided to pick it again. But there's some in row 3 that are just too big. All right, we're out here in the tomato patch. I only have 3 rows of tomatoes. At one time, I grew up to 10 rows, and that was when we were doing 14 farmers markets and wholesaling to a grocery store chain that had 11 supermarkets within an hour and a half of my farm. But each year we started scaling back. This was about 15 years ago. We scaled back to like 8 rows, then 6 rows, then 5, and now we've kind of settled on just 3 rows. Seems to be enough for our 8 farmers markets and our satellite location. So we're picking pretty light today. And you can see some of these lighter ones. We're leaving these behind to get a little redder. That's about how we want to pick them. Kind of that dark orange color. I guess that's a light orange color. Popping the calyx. I think that's what that is. Stem, whatever you call it. Setting them in there. We're going to fill the tubs about 2/3 full. And when the tubs are full, we'll just set them over in like this blank row, or over in the old the watermelon patch, or over here on the cantaloupe patch, whichever side we're closest to. And as you look down through here, you can see it looks like a field of morning glory, but there are tomatoes in here. Finally getting some nice size. That's a beauty. Yeah, big Bertha Whopper tomatoes. Those are nice. Those splits. There's some beauties out here today. Oh wow. Yeah, gnarly looking tomato. Be a good canning tomato.
I want to try virtual reality. I don't know if we can do that one. Okay, I'm going up. See like that. See how this? Let's see what.
Making pretty good progress. We just hit the Roma row here on the outside row. They're looking pretty nice. Nice big Roma plum tomatoes for making sauce. I don't have very many of them. I only plant a couple flats of them. Looks like they end right there. And they turn into yellow tomatoes. By the way, the plum tomatoes are Mariana. The yellow tomatoes are Carolina Gold. We also have planted BHN 871 for quite a few years, but came back to Carolina Gold. They're not looking too hot. You can see the plant health has really deteriorated a lot lately with these massive rains we've had. Those look pretty nice right there. The plants don't look nice, but the tomatoes look nice. I'm gonna take that one in for lunch right there. So on the yellow tomatoes, I'm not really picking any canners, just number ones. I don't really have any requests for yellow canning tomatoes. That would cover your hamburger bun. There's a funny shape one. Cat-faced. I call them boat tomatoes. Look like a big old boat.
Oh, heck yeah, this one's nice.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Once you remove stems for long enough, it's easy to do with just your thumb. You kind of spin the tomato in your hand as you bend the stem and it usually pops right off. Looks like we're just about ready to meet up. Maybe 10 more minutes and we'll have the tomatoes done. I'm out here in the watermelon patch. This is what we're picking tomorrow. This is the flooded area. You can see the vines are pretty much dead. You can see the dry cracked mud where the water was standing at one time. But all of these watermelons are ripe and ready, red and juicy and sweet, ready for harvest. And this is what we're doing tomorrow morning. I'm hoping to get about 1,000 out of here, somewhere between 700, 800 and 1,000. So it should be a pretty good harvest. After that, we'll probably have just 1 or 2 more small harvests and watermelons will be done. But what's good about watermelons is that they hold for a really long time. I'll leave half of them out of the cooler even. The other half I'll roll into the tomato cooler that's around 60 degrees. And I'll have watermelons through Labor Day. After that, I don't really care if I have any or not. I just want to make sure I have them for the next month. And we'll move on to winter squash. Butternut and spaghetti squash are right over here along the woods. They are ready to cut. And we have candy onions ready to pull. So all of those things are coming here in the very near future. Just about finished up here, ready to load up all the tomatoes on our last 30 feet of row. I think everybody's tomatoed out. Final tub of tomatoes. Pretty nice load today. Well, here's what we ended up with. 30 tubs of tomatoes from those 3 rows. And I feel like we probably only picked about half or a third of the fruit on those plants. They were pretty loaded. Hopefully the plants will hold up for a few more weeks so we can get a couple more decent picks off of them. But in about 3 weeks from now, those plants will all be dying. And by Labor Day, they're gonna be shot. And we luckily have 1 more row that was a later planting that should be kicking in by then. So we should still have plenty of tomatoes through September, but it will definitely be a lot less. I'm hoping to fill about 100 cases of #1 tomatoes, the 10-pound cases that we have stacked over there. There's probably more than that here, but a third of them are gonna be like canning tomatoes, secondhand or scratch and dent ugly tomatoes that we can't sell as #1s. We'll still be able to sell those at a discounted price. So pretty happy with the yield we got off those plants today and glad it's done. And now we can concentrate on other things on the farm like watermelon and cantaloupe and sweet corn and green beans and all those other things. I'm gonna throw up a little piece of time-lapse footage right now of us packing all these tomatoes. And when you have a decent crew helping, it makes things go quicker. But the way we do this is we sort them into 2 different sizes. Sometimes we'll sort into 2 different colors, but we try to just pick 1 color this time, so it makes it a lot easier for packing. We actually are probably going to be packing these into 3 different sizes: large, medium, and small. And then we'll also have tubs set off to the side for our canning tomatoes, and we will move those into peach boxes, half bushel peach boxes, as orders come in. So it doesn't take very long to get this all packed up, and now we're going to have plenty of tomatoes to get us through the rest of this week and probably part of next week. If you are wondering what our tomato varieties are, we grow several. The yellow tomatoes are Carolina Gold. We have also grown BHN 871 in the past. And the red round tomatoes are Summer Pick, Skyway 687, Rambler, Roadster, and STM 2255. And we've also planted some Red Deuce in the past, but we did not this year. And we also planted some BHN 964. And the Roma plum tomatoes are Mariana. Well, folks, this is where we're going to wrap up today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I will see you all again real soon down the farm.